So I've been gone for a hot minute. I dyed my hair purple. It's fading. A lot has been happening. I've been like MIA because I started a women's spirituality institute housed in northern New Jersey at a place called Body Positive Works. And the name of the institute is LUMINA, which means light. Brightness, light, sunshine, all of those beautiful things, because we are shining a light not just on ourselves and other women, but on all of the women who have disappeared throughout history, who have made significant contributions to spiritual or religious thought, to women's movements in general. And we're also going to be highlighting some of the goddesses and prominent religious women who are not talked about as they should be. So that's what we're doing over at Lumina, which is a lot of work. So I need to do. So I'm going to be focused on my August monthly planning session today because, yes, I've started this Women's Spirituality Institute. We have women's circles and workshops and year-long programs for healing and transformation and release. We've got all of this really fantastic stuff happening, but I'm still a full-time PhD student in my comprehensive exams, and I still have 2 other teaching jobs. And I'm always on the hunt for more remote teaching work because the economy, capitalism, and here we are. So while Lumina gets off the ground, while she's launching, we've done a couple of events that have been really successful so far, I still have a lot of other stuff I need to do. And so I always do a top of the month monthly planning session. But how I start that is I look at all of my past month goals, and I go down that list and I see what I've done and what I haven't. I didn't do shit in July. I just want to put that out there, that I had a lot of big goals and a lot of big dreams and all this work I was going to do, and I didn't do shit. I was so focused on Lumina, on getting this thing off the ground, which as I should have been, but I let all of my goals go to the wayside. So if you had all these big goals in July and you didn't accomplish them, don't feel bad. It's all right. Don't feel bad. I actually have my list here. And before I get into actually doing the goals, I just want to tell you what I do. I'm a person who has to write everything down. Like, I handwrite everything. And then I also come into Notion. I'm trying to be better about using Notion because it's so convenient to have something you can sign on into on a bunch of different platforms. But I am the product of Catholic school. I'm a millennial product of Catholic school. And if any other millennial Catholic schooler is watching this, you will know that we had the ruler and the red pen, and we had to write out all of these things. And it really has stuck with me for the rest of my life. And so I've got like journal and notebook and planner, and I've got like a different planner for different things, and it's a bunch of nonsense, okay? Will I ever change? Probably not. Will I do the first draft of my freaking dissertation by hand? Probably. Will I live to regret it? Absolutely. Because I handwrite my papers as well. And then like somewhere halfway through when I start flowing, I transfer to the computer. This is not productive. I do not recommend it. But anywho, I write out all of my goals on a piece of paper at the start of every month, and I keep it like close by to my computer or whatever I'm doing, and I tick things off as I go. This was nowhere near me all July, and I seriously think that contributed to not doing anything. I'm so worried about all this other stuff. So here we are. So yes, I'm a full-time PhD student. I am now a business owner. But I'm still an adjunct professor at 2 different places. And at one of those places, I'm an assistant division director, which means that it's like an admin role that supports faculty and supports students and looks at curriculum and all of that stuff. So I'm busy and I'm tired. and I would cut myself some slack because we're all busy and we're all tired. And if we were a little kinder to ourselves and others, I think the world would be a better place. But I break up my goals. First I do an overview of my monthly goals, and I do it by academic, career, and personal. Because I now also have this institute, I'm probably going to make a separate category just for that. I want it to feel separate. If you want something to feel like it has more of a special significance or higher priority, put it under a separate little catalog, whatever it is. So that's how I do it. I do the whole monthly goals. Then I do what I need to do today, this week, and in 2 weeks. And I sort of break it down like that so that I'm prioritizing what needs to happen first. And then what I've been doing since May is I've been doing overarching summer goals, because if I can see them on a piece of paper, then I know that the little steps I'm doing are building towards that. So that's what I do. So I only ticked off 3 things off this list. You won't be able to really see it, but I just want you to see like how much, like it was a full piece of paper and I only did 3 things. We're going to do better in August. August is my birth month. I'm a Leo. Of course I am. Did you really think anything else? And so I've got a lot of goals, a lot of things I want to do, but I'm also really freaking busy. So let's get to planning. I'm going to plan for all of August. And I'm going to plug in all of the special dates that I have. Then I'm going to go into Notion. I'm going to show you a little bit of that. And I don't care how old school this makes me. You see this calendar in the back of every single one of my videos, right? This calendar, having it next to my computer, is so helpful, and I fill everything out. I've got like calendar here, calendar there, notebook here, planner. It helps me. It's just how my brain works. So you should do whatever works for your brain that'll allow you to be the most successful that you can be this month. And remember that success looks different for everyone. My success might be getting a paper draft up, getting something into a publisher, doing marketing for my business, and I don't know, reading 7 books and doing a literature review. That might not be success for you. Sometimes success for me is getting out of bed. Getting out of bed, making myself a coffee, and playing with my cat. We're going to have days like that, and that's why you should always be kind to yourself. And be kind to yourself in your planning. It's okay to have really big goals and dreams, but don't overwhelm yourself. If you notice month after month after month that you put this one thing on your list, I've done this, it's writing a book, getting some book chapters done, and you don't even touch that shit, you know you've got a lot going on. Now, it could be that you're blocking yourself. Maybe that's on you. Maybe you're scared. Or maybe you've given yourself too much to do. And you should take a breather. You should assess that. All right. Let's get planning. Come along. This is a disaster. I always have to get something to wipe this up with, which is what I'm going to do right now. Now that I've gotten everything out on paper, on Notion, I've got my calendar up, I'm going to go ahead and fill out everything, on the dates and the times for that calendar, so that, when I'm sitting right on my computer and email comes in and they're like, are you available on XYZ day? Like, I know exactly what I'm doing that day. I can look right to the side there and I can see exactly what's going on. But I also have this planner that I really like, not just because it has butterflies on it. This is High Note. It's a 17-month hardcover calendar. I'll get another one for 2025, which will be here faster than we think. I really like what they have going on, like in the beginning of each month here. Well, first of all, this one's like a disaster. They have a calendar here, and then they have your goals, like your agenda. And so there's 3 goal options at the front, and it has the steps that you need to take, just like how Notion has the steps. It has the steps that you need to take in order to achieve those goals, and then they have a due date on the side. And it has like a big project planning, must do, who to call and email, all of the things that like to purchase, to read, to watch, hope to do, must do, and a little note to yourself where you can draw a little picture if you want to. And I think that is really helpful because you just open it up, there's everything, then it has, of course, every day it gives you a little more stuff that you can write. And so I've got like 7 of these shits. I don't know, just all over the place. But it really helps me to brain dump all of this information. And yeah, especially at the top of the month, it does take a little bit of time. But I found that I'm much more calm and settled and ready to go once I've done that. Then I can go, okay, what do I have to do next? What do I have to do next? And what I have to do next is get ready for an event at Lumina. So we also have what I'm calling the Wise Women Circle. It's a book club, but it's a little bit different, this book club. So it focuses on themes of women's spirituality and women empowerment. And we're reading a bunch of different books from all backgrounds, all walks of life, all faiths, all spirituality, all nationalities, all of it. And I will be facilitating the conversation as a PhD student in women's spirituality, but also each one of our book clubs also comprises of a ritual of some kind or an activity of some kind that grounds us in the material maybe that we're dealing with, or if the material is really triggering or challenging, we'll do something that's grounding or soothing so that we don't leave all frazzled and upset about the content of these books. And our first one, I've talked about this book a lot on the internet. We're looking at Athena to Barbie, Bodies, Archetypes, and Women's Search for Self by J. Lenore Wright. Book club is September 4th in person. I'll put the link to Lumina's website in the box if you're in the northern New Jersey area. I hope to see you there. We'll be discussing this book. And we'll also be talking about Enheduanna, the world's first author who happens to be a woman, at another event that's coming up. And so I'm going to reread some sections of this book today. I'm going to take copious notes. When I read it the first time, I was using it for a paper. So the way I read it that time is going to be different than how I read it this time. So I'm just reading to sort of absorb and enjoy and think about some of the topics that might benefit the women in book club in regard to our body. I also like to use Wild Rituals Intention deck from Tamed Wild when I think about, hosting rituals and events for other people, because it really helps me to clear my mind. The one thing that I have a hard time coming up with sometimes is like the theme or topic for a women's circle, because you want it to be different every time. And people like to know what the theme is ahead of time. Like maybe, our next theme is beauty, for example. Maybe there's a woman who's having a really hard time accepting her body, or she's having a tough week with her body and how she thinks about her body. Maybe she really wants to come to something about beauty, or maybe she really doesn't. That'll set her over the edge. So it's good to know what it's going to be about ahead of time. And when I'm done dumping all of my, logistical information, I like to ground myself in a ritual like I do for all of my women's circles and events. That will include lighting incense or candles on my ancestor altar, my deity altar, leaving offerings, water, food, fruit, nuts, little snacks, right? And also saying a prayer of gratitude or setting an intention in front of those altars. And a lot of the time, tarot has always been my favorite form of divination. I was really drawn to it as a kid. I think because my grandpa played card games and I saw that there were cards and I was like, whoa! But I like to dump, is the wrong word here, but I like to make sure my spiritual well-being is in check as well before I sit down for hours and hours and hours, because it's really hard to just sit here and not get up and not move your body. And I think that's also why a lot of my goals for July were not accomplished, because it would have required an integration of mind, body, and spirit. And I was not in a place to do that. But this month, August, I will be in a place to do it, whether I like it or not. I will get my spiritual fix, my physical fix, because I really want to focus more on health and wellness and my overall well-being. Because when you're doing a PhD, or when you have 3 jobs and doing a PhD like me, you put yourself last a lot. You put yourself last a lot, and you shouldn't. You are the person accomplishing all of those things. And if your body is not moving, if you're not being healthy, if you are constantly eating, say, processed foods or junk food, you're not going to feel your best. You're not going to perform at optimal levels to accomplish all of these goals that will, in fact, change your life. They will change your life. I cannot believe, yes, I can, but it doesn't feel real, that I've started this Women's Spirituality Institute. It has been on my manifestation board list for almost 2 years now. And every time that I have tried to start it, hosted events online, hosted workshops in person, I have had some people show up, and they've always been really incredible experiences, but not like this. Not like this. And something always got in the way, and usually it was my physical or my mental or my emotional health. Those things are so, so important. And I hope if you do nothing else in your monthly planning, that you take care of your mental, your physical, and your emotional worlds. because that's what will keep you going, and that's what you've got at the end of the day if you have nothing else. So that's my tidbit of advice for you. Let us see what we've got here real quick. Real quick. Forgiveness. This has been a theme. When the weight of resentment is too much to bear, when you're ready to be free of the shackles that bind you to anger and blame, apply this card. This is a heart, very beautifully drawn. Forgiveness. Well, I'll have to think on that, and maybe you will think on that as well, because that is something that I definitely have to think more about. I always think that forgiveness is easy for me, and it's actually history has proven that is not the case. So the cards will always give you what you need. They will not always give you what you want. So aside from, we have our monthly planning, all of our calendars are in sync, all of my digital and my physical things are in sync. I have 28 texts left to read on my comprehensive exam. 10 of that, well, like 7 of those are articles, so don't be like, oh my god. The rest of them are books, so yeah, it's fucking a lot. It's a lot. But I have to read 35 texts in total, so having like 28 left, I've read a fair amount, so I'm not like completely disappointed in myself. And a lot of the books I actually have to order this time around, when last time I ordered a few, but they were like older, so they weren't as expensive. These are very expensive, so I've been scouring the internet, scouring libraries, having a hard time finding everything I need to find, so it's taking me a little bit longer to order everything because they're expensive and I have other bills that I have to pay in between that time. So I'm going to tackle what the texts that I have. I'm going to try and tackle 2 more books today. I'm halfway through 1, so 1.5 books today. And I want to get through all of the articles that I have on my list. Last time when I did my comp exam, I did it by sections. And I attempted to do that today, or well, this time around as well. Like I did narratology first, but I'm waiting on 1 more text. So instead of just like waiting and not doing anything, I'm just taking copious notes as I go. And hopefully that will keep my brain on track when it comes time to writing everything. But who knows? So wish me luck. I'm going to go into my month of August fully prepared, fully ready, and today, on this last day of July, or whenever you're watching it, just know that when the sun goes down and then the sun rises, you get to start all over again. You don't have to wait for the start of the month. You don't have to wait for the end of the month. You could do it on a random fucking Tuesday. If Tuesday morning you wake up and you think, I don't want this, or this going on in my life anymore, you are in control. You have the power to change it. Sometimes we are blocked by things like financial access, physical access, mental, emotional, physical wellness and health. Sometimes we're blocked by certain things, but truly we are blocked by feeling that we are blocked. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that, I'm not coming from a place of having lots of financial and physical access. I'm coming from a place where a lot of my dreams have been stopped, changed, rerouted, put on hold, transformed, completely deleted, because I do not have access to some of the other resources that some people do. And you might be in that same situation, but what you do have is yourself. You do have yourself, you do have your mind, you do have your heart. And what I have found throughout this process of starting Lumina is that I am enough as I am, and that I trust myself. Trust yourself. And maybe that also means applying some forgiveness somewhere where it needs to be. Maybe that forgiveness is for you. Maybe it's for all the things you had to do in order to survive up until this point. That's okay. Trust yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive others, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free of it. And start over. You have the ability to start again right now. You don't even have to wait until tomorrow. You can do it right now. Taking little tiny baby steps is so much better than not moving at all. You can do it. You can smash all of your goals. You can set new ones. You can reevaluate the goals that you thought you had for yourself, the goals that you didn't meet last month, and everything is going to be okay. That is my message for you. Let me know what some of your goals are this month. Let me know what you're working on in the comment section, and let me know what you want to see next time. Thanks for being here. Bye!